Mother taught me never to follow the herd. Always to be a leader. To take personal initiative. Because if you follow the herd, like many people do, you get stampeded. And so that's stuck with me all my life. Take leadership. Question conventional thinking at all times. See if there are other ways to do things, and that's been basically the direction I've followed all my life. I entered a surgical residency when I graduated from med school. Surgery was a hands-on activity where you went in and took care of a problem and corrected it, and you could see the results of your work pretty much immediate. And that's where I was drawn. But it wasn't until I set up my own general practice of medicine that over time I became disenchanted with really the focus of family practice medicine, which was really prescribing pills. There was a lot of surgery that was done, assisted surgery that I did with other physicians. I enjoyed that. But the routine, recurrent illnesses that people had didn't seem to have an answer that I could offer my guests that came from conventional medicine. People were sick and they kept coming back to the clinic over and over again sick, never seemed to get well. Give them antibiotics, you get them over that, maybe give them something for their joint pain or give them something for sleep, but overall patients just didn't do well. A patient of mine, who I'll call Mrs. Jones, lived in a retirement center right next door to my office when I practiced on the north side of Houston, and she came over for a follow-up visit, and I asked her, I remember clearly in room 1, I said, Miss Jones, how are you doing? I was sitting down face to face to her, just like I am with you, and I asked her that question. She came up with a big smile on her face. She said, Dr. Hotze, ever since I threw away all those drugs that you've been giving me, I feel like $1 million. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought, you know, she's smarter than me. She's smarter than all the other doctors, all the other patients around. She knows that drugs have serious side effects and can make you feel badly. Well, it caused me to really reflect back upon what my mother had told me earlier about don't follow the herd. Be a leader. That means you got to offer solutions so the herd doesn't want to follow someone else, wants to follow you. And that's what caused me to choose a different route, and it was serendipitous, really. It wasn't until I attended an allergy conference, really in 1989, that my interest was piqued in alternative approaches to health. I found out that many of the people that had recurrent and chronic sinus infections and bronchitis and skin disorders and stomach disorders, headaches, a host of health problems, joint, muscle aches and pains, were related to airborne and food allergies. And I heard physicians who taught me how to diagnose these problems and how to treat them so the patient's problems would be resolved. You treat the underlying allergy problems. And at that allergy conference, Pan American Allergy Society in 1989, I heard the first time in my life about doctors who got patients with chronic problems well. I thought to myself, wow, these doctors are helping people get well. I'd sure like to do that. At the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, we approach wellness using natural means rather than pharmaceutical means. We do not believe that people are sick because they have low levels of pharmaceutical drugs in their body. We believe people are ill because they have an altered immune system, which can be caused by low levels of your natural occurring hormones like the thyroid hormones or the sex hormones or the adrenal hormones, or they have allergy problems. They can have poor nutrition due to poor eating habits. That can cause a host of problems, not only food allergy, but just health problems from eating poor food or unhealthy food. Our whole approach to the practice of medicine is from a more natural approach. We try to get our guests off of drugs and help them replenish their declining levels of hormones and get them on a good eating program, get their vitamins and minerals and nutrients up, get their allergies treated, get them well. That's the difference.